Thanks for joining us for the Hospitality Hangout, a hospitality-focused podcast where the founders of Branded Strategic share their insights and bring technology and innovation leaders that are making things happen in the industry we love. My name is Jimmy Frischling, otherwise known as the Finance Guy. I'd like to introduce my partner, Mr. Michael Schatzberg, also known as the Restaurant Guy.
And Jimbo, thanks for that kind introduction. And to all those listening, feel free to call me Shatsy. Together, we are the personalities behind Branded Strategic Hospitality. We work at the intersection of hospitality, technology, innovation, and capital.
Listen, folks, hospitality hanger-oners. We are excited to bring you
We got a big show.
Big show. This is big. We are excited to bring you a special episode of the Hospitality Hangout live from Food on Demand Conference.
And where are we?
At the Bellagio in Las Vegas.
Oh, Jimmy, I'm feeling lucky tonight, baby.
Vegas,
We're
baby,
gonna hit the
Vegas.
tables.
Brandon is back on the road. I got to tell you, Food on Demand, 900 participants, operators, tech vendors, manufacturers, producers. This is a hell of a show. I got to tell you, I'm very happy to be here, Shatty. What do you think?
This is incredible. It's great to be in Vegas. Vegas is electric, and we are live from Food on Demand. And Jimmy, I got to tell you, we're going to rope in some great guests today. Right. We're going to find somebody to talk to. I see somebody walking down the hall right now, Mr. Michael Beacham. Michael, we're going to get you on the podcast. Don't run the other way.
Get him wired.
We're going to get him on. We're going to put the headset on, and we are ready to go. Michael Beacham, president of Reef Technologies. Can I say Reef Technologies?
You sure can.
Or can I just say Reef?
Just Reef.
We are super excited to have you here. Thank you for, I was going to say thank you for joining the show, but you ran the other way, so I looped you in. You actually didn't want to join the show, but I forced you to join the show.
You're surprisingly quick, Shatzy. Got a good first step.
They all run the other way.
I wouldn't have come.
He's a Jersey guy.
Yeah, 100%. Jersey guys got to stick together. Jimmy's a New Yorker, and he frowns on Jersey. Hey, listen, we are so fortunate, Michael, to have you here. Thank you so much. Listen, yesterday you were a panelist on the Ghost Kitchen and Virtual Restaurant Roundtable here at Food on Demand. Tell us a little bit from your perspective, for any operators who want to get into this or do this, what are best ways that we can get involved?
You know, I'd say one of the most fascinating things that came to me yesterday, how much this has grown over the last year, from being something that was very specific to certain groups that were creating brands like a virtual dining concepts or a C3, to, if you looked at the audience, it spanned everybody, from local chefs that wanted to start restaurants, regional brands that were looking for ways to expand, and then all of the big global enterprise brands were in the audience, all trying to figure out what part of this they're going to play. It was encouraging. It was enlightening. It's a little bit scary to see that, you know, everybody's now kind of grabbing at a piece of this to see where they fit. But it's something that's not going to go away. And I think for operators, the best place to start is to do their homework and talk to
and contact Reef Kitchens.
Contact Reef Kitchens.
Well played, Chad.
Thank you.
Done.
Thank you. So let me ask you something. So, listen, we're very familiar with what you're doing over there. Real quickly, just give us a little background on Reef.
Okay. We are a proximity company. And what we mean by that is much as like in a way that Amazon brought you convenience where you could order whatever you wanted and it was going to come to you in 1, 2, in my case, usually 5 or 6 days. They're a platform. They're a marketplace. Reef is a platform and a marketplace of proximity. And so we believe the closer that you can get to where people work and live, we can deliver goods and services to them quicker, better, cheaper. And so we started out by buying all the parking companies in North America. We're the largest parking lot operator in North America. And a lot of people say, oh, those parking lot guys that put kitchens on it. No, that was always the plan, was how do we create a network where we can be at the base of the buildings where people want food? And the one
Makes
thing
a lot
that's
of sense.
different about food than anything else is that when it comes out of that fryer or comes off that grill, it starts to degrade. So the faster we can get it to them, the better quality it'll be. The closer we are, the better shape we're going to be.
Hey, listen, Mike, you know a little something about restaurants. You have operated thousands of restaurants across numerous brands all over the world. I mean, you know good food, you know restaurants. How'd you get in the business? Give us a little background on yourself.
I'm a lifelong restaurant guy. I started very young in family Italian restaurants in New Jersey, and then got a chance to join the Marriott Corporation, where I learned the business the hard way, where you do every single job. Then I joined TGI Fridays, where I led their international expansion. And then I landed in Russia. I was in Moscow running the largest restaurant company in Eastern and Central Europe for several years. Very cold there.
Yeah,
I came back.
A lot of borscht. A lot of borscht.
Spent some time at Chuck E. Cheese as chief operating officer, then Hard Rock as chief operating officer as we expanded into
By the way, love
countries.
the pizza at Chuck E. Cheese. Always love the pizza.
Pizza was always ranked number one in blind taste tests.
It was.
And dead last on brand
I'm
awards.
not afraid to say, Jimmy, I had plenty of birthday parties over at Chuck E. Cheese.
Love Chuck E. Cheese.
Good stuff.
And then I spent some time, most recently at Darden as president of international with brands like Olive Garden, Capital Grill, Eddie V's, Longhorn, Yard House, and several other.
Incredible. Listen, so let me ask you something. You're here at the show. We're at Food on Demand in Las Vegas. What's the buzz? What's the buzz around the show? You walk the show. You walk the floor. What's the buzz? What are you seeing? What are you hearing?
I think the thing that's the most encouraging, what I'm hearing over and over again from people, a year ago, people thought that this was a COVID thing, that delivery off-premise was something that was going to go away as in-room dining went back.
Right.
And now statistically, it's been proven that not only is it not, it's actually continuing to expand at a rapid pace. And so you've got everybody trying to figure out what their part is in it. I was fascinated. I just walked the showroom floor, and the amount of companies and the amount of technology coming at us as to how to piece this all together is phenomenal. I mean, I don't know if you saw, there's a bike over there that looked like an urban assault vehicle for delivery that could go over mountains and everything else and keep the food hot and cold food cold. So I was pretty impressed.
It's incredible. I agree. We walked the floor yesterday a little bit. We saw some really incredible things. So let me ask you this. I mean, you're looking for brands, right? You
Always.
need great brands for your Reef kitchens.
Yeah.
Have you come up with anything new, anything exciting? Have you seen anything? What brands are you most excited about out there, even if they're not for you? Or what's most exciting to you?
I think, what's exciting for us is all of it. And that's the part that I'm most proud of, is we get to work with the largest, most established brands like Popeyes, Burger King, and Wendy's. And I don't think anyone out there operates multiple competing brands. We get to operate with the celebrity brands like the Mr. Beasts of the world. I don't know if you saw today, we launched DJ Khaled. It's the largest restaurant launch in history. 150 restaurants on the same day.
Wait, are we getting breaking news right now?
I think we just got breaking news.
Breaking news live from FOD Las Vegas. Breaking news, Reef announcement.
DJ, so tell us about that. 150 stores open today?
5 countries simultaneously, 150 stores. And if you're in the Miami area, out on the water on a yacht, you can get it delivered by jet ski.
Are you listening to this, people?
Hey, you on the jet ski. Heads up. There's some water skiers out there. Heads up.
I got burgers coming.
So it's called Another Wing, and we're very proud of it, and we're very excited about seeing where it's going to go.
I love that from, as you just said, from some of the largest, most well-known iconic brands to some celebrity brands that you're working with. And you said Mr. Beast. That's Mr. Robert Earl's. That's one of his babies, isn't that?
Yeah, and Robert and I are good friends, and we go back a long way from Hard Rock days. And I remember the day he called me up and he said, "This is what I want to do." And when Robert calls, you answer the phone. And
he's a legend. The guy's a legend.
I have to agree.
Class act.
But I would say that what makes us most proud is when we have local chefs who could not open a restaurant on their own, and we can do it in a way where they don't put $1 of capital in. We have a guy that called, his name is Bill Bonnies, and he's got a concept called Man versus Fries, which no logical person would have ever thought this was a good idea.
Right.
Like you would at least go, "Hey, guy versus fries," like something that rhymes or something. But the logo looks like it's made in on a Word document. And all of us, were wrong. And he was persistent. He had one unit doing $300,000-$400,000, and he's going to do $40 million on Reef this year.
Holy
150
cow.
locations.
That's incredible.
I love it. No, we are at Branded. We are very much operator centric, and you are clearly have a platform that is on the side of operators and trying to bring value to them. While I know you just gave us breaking news, and I know the following now is like mundane, but it's got
more breaking news.
Well, it's not breaking; it already broke. But I got to tell you, it is big news. It was shared earlier this week that Reef announced its acquisition of Dubai-based cloud kitchen iKcon. I hope I said that correctly. Kitchen iKcon. Yep. What can you tell us about virtual kitchens in the UAE and beyond? Because this is crossing borders. This is global.
The interesting thing is they've actually been delivering long before us. So They have, when I started going to the Middle East back in 2000, 2001, you could order food from almost any restaurant, whether it was a KFC, Pizza Hut, a TGI Fridays, through a call center, and it would show up in a scooter and get delivered to you. So it's a very delivery-centric market. It's also a market that has high spend. They order out food. They have food brought in almost every night of the week.
Nobody cooking there, huh?
No. And it's a very U.S. brand centric market.
They love it. Jimmy and I spent some time in Dubai. They love it.
You know, when you land in Dubai airport and you see the Shake Shack, you know you're not too far away from home.
You're not too far away from home. And by the way, we ate there.
Yes,
it was delicious.
It was delicious. They got it right.
They got it right.
So we did a lot of homework, and we chose the operator who they were the second largest, but by far the best in terms of operations and standards. And that's what's most important to us. So,
are you keeping the name, or is it going to go under Reef, or just keeping?
It's now Reef.
It's now Reef.
Yep. And there'll be another big announcement coming in the next couple of days.
Can we get it?
I can give you a little bit.
Oh, give us a hint. Give us a hint.
We will be.
We won't tell anybody.
This was step one of a couple steps, but there'll be a rather large joint venture that will expand us throughout all of the Middle East and North Africa. Into kitchens that are up to 1,000 kitchens.
Wow.
Should I start guessing? And
I don't think you should
see the reaction on Michael's face.
Can't break me. I'm in Vegas. I got a poker face.
Poker face. All right.
I like it. All right. Listen, it wouldn't be a podcast unless we didn't do some of our greatest hits. It's not the best segment of the podcast because that one always belongs to Shatsy.
100%.
But we got the crystal ball moment where we ask our guests where they see restaurants and technology 2 years from now. And we know the industry is moving at blazing speed. So 2 years is actually quite a long time. Being there with food on demand today, we want to know when we come back to FOD 2 years from now, what do you think the hot topic is going to be? What will have changed or evolved in the next 2 years?
I'll bet you Reef owns a lot more kitchens.
Damn straight. That's
right.
That's a very strong bet.
I think you're going to find that we found a way to bring content closer to people. So I'll give you a couple just what ifs. If you're at a Yankees game, why do you have to get up out of your seat to go walk somewhere and wait in line?
If I tell you how much I hate that.
Why not just hit the QR code and have the food come to you? And why can't it be any brand that you know and love? If you're going into an airport, you all flew out here. I don't know the last time I got food in an airport, not because I didn't want to, but because I'm getting there 20 minutes before my flight, and the line at Wendy's is 300 people long. And
you talk about that all at Dunkin' Donuts.
I'm telling you, I'm feeling a kinship here. He's talking the cause.
100%.
So we're opening up our first airport, Raleigh-Durham, this month. And the way it's going to work is when you get your boarding pass, you're going to click on, I want to order food. You're going to see all your favorite brands, local brands, regional brands, big enterprise brands. You'll place your order, and then you'll choose, do I want to pick it up at a window, or do I want it waiting at the gate for me? Where we're going to be 2 years from now when we sit here, you can decide if you want it on your seat when you get on the plane. Now,
wow.
I like that.
Wow. This guy knows something about this.
Think about it. If just like Domino's knows you can look to see where your driver is, you can opt to say, track me. I'll know how fast it's going to take you to get through security.
Right.
So I make sure the food gets there to you the exact time that you get there, so it's not sitting cold. So you have a hot, fresh meal as you take off on that flight, and you're able to enjoy it in your way.
I'm going to have to sit next to somebody eating Wendy's on the plane with those French fries. That's going to kill me. That's going to kill me.
And the Frosty.
By the way, this is Michael's segment, but man, I think about we talk about the QR codes that we've been talking about modernizing stadiums forever. Like the geo mapping couldn't be easier. They know where you're sitting.
Right.
Why are we making and how many times have you said, I don't want to get up and miss the action. I don't want to wait on the line. I love that. That is exactly what we're talking about.
And the airports, they're ripe for modernization. Nothing has changed.
When's the last time in a hotel that you've been able to get room service late at night? And when you do, I was a Marriott.
It's a turkey club, man. It's a turkey club or a burger.
Now you'll be able to go on. We're actually moving into hotels, taking over their back of the house, and which is always a not profitable thing for them.
Right.
But we'll
it's an amenity.
Service to the dining room.
Yep.
Same time, when you go into your room, you'll sit that little QR code that's now become ubiquitous for us for ordering food, and all the brands will come up, and you may be able to order from us from Kona Grill or STK or Outback or Fleming's, who are all on our platform now,
right.
or Wolfgang Puck. and you'll be able to order food, and then it'll be brought up to you. But now if you're with your kids and they want to order Popeyes and you want to order STK, it'll come up together.
All the same time.
At the same time, we now deliver all those brands to the neighborhood. We add in convenience items. So if you want anything from deodorant to chips to ice cream, milk bar, it's going to be brought up to your room.
Gotta love it. I mean, I would love a pizza and Ben & Jerry's or something, or Haagen-Dazs.
Gold.
It really is incredible.
I'm telling listeners, please, this is going to be the segment.
We're coming back here in 2 years.
You're going to remember this segment.
I agree.
But if you see how it all ties together as to what I said at the beginning, it's all about proximity. Our job is to bring content as close as possible to people that otherwise they would have had to go find themselves.
Incredible. We love it. It's super exciting. I'm going to the branded quickfire right now, Michael. We're going to ask you 5 lightning round questions. This is branded quickfire Viva Las Vegas edition, Jimbo. Viva Las Vegas edition. Are you ready? 5 questions. Don't think too hard. Just give us what comes to your mind. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite thing about Vegas?
The food.
The food.
Any restaurant, any chef you can find here.
Favorite casino game?
Blackjack.
Favorite airport snack?
I haven't been able to get one for 8 months, so I'm going to have to come back to you on that one.
Okay. Take a pass on that one. Favorite Vegas hotel?
Used to be the Hard Rock Hotel, but now it's my friend Robert Earl's the Planet Hollywood Hotel.
Planet Hollywood. Shout out to Robert
Shout out
Earl.
again to Robert. Robert!
Let's talk craps. Another game that I happen to love craps. I know Jimbo loves craps. I'm not sure there's any other game that draws a bigger crowd at casino than craps. Most people don't even know how to play it, but everyone's around there because it's exciting. If you were to choose either Jimmy or I to be your good luck charm and partner at the craps table, who are you picking?
It's a tough one. I think one of you is going to blow on a dice. The other one I'm going to cut off your foot and put it on a keychain.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. So, Jimbo, we split that one. So we're doing really great there. Hey, listen, I know you got a busy show. I know you're doing a lot of stuff out here in Vegas. A lot of people, a lot of brands, a lot of things happening there. So, hey, Michael, thank you for stopping by. This was awesome.
That was
Anytime,
great, Michael.
guys.
Thank
Love
you.
it.
I appreciate
Anytime he said. Anytime he said. You saw that.
That was being polite. He's being polite.
Hey,
That's a Jersey
again.
thing.
It is. It is. Let me see who else I can grab. All right.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks,
All right,
Michael.
take care.
Shatsy, that was great. Michael, that was awesome.
I mean, I never thought Vegas could get better than it's been. I mean, we're at RFDC, then we're here at Food on Demand. I'm thinking, like, how could it get better? Then you get a guest like that with the insight. That was the best crystal ball, Jimmy.
That was the best crystal ball we've ever had, I think. I think it was. All right, so Shatsy, come on. Let's go. We got a lot of people.
I got to go.
There.
Let me go walk
How
around.
How you going to top that?
I don't know. Let me tell you something. When I come ask people to be on the podcast, they run. They run the other way. Let me go look and see. I see that. Wait a minute, is that Ovation? I think I see an Ovation hat. Zack Oates, get over here, Zack. And no, don't laugh and don't give me the finger either, Zack. Get over here, put on the headset. You're doing the podcast live from Vegas. Jimbo, look at this.
Zack has more freaking branded swag. Sorry, more swag branded as Ovation than even Brandon has. I'm taking the hat. I'm taking that. Zack's got great hair. I'm taking his hat.
CEO and founder of Ovation. I mean, look at this, Jimbo. How do we get guests like this?
Zack, welcome to the podcast. How's it going out there, man? How's the show?
The show is great. Luckily, the hotel has a great blow dryer, so I'm doing all right today. Got the
hair looks
volume.
great, by the way.
His hair does look great. And by the way, right now he's the freshest person at the show right now. He's got a bounce in the step. Listen, Zack, you and the team at Ovation are old pros right now. Young guys, but old pros at the trade show circuit. We're back. Things are happening. What has changed since the last time you were out here at the show at Food on Demand?
First of all, people know who we are.
Right?
Last time people were like, ovulation, Ovation. No, man. We
got Ovation your shirt, Ovation your sneakers, Ovation hat, Ovation underwear. You got Ovation everything.
No, but I think it's awesome to finally be back. I think people are really excited. This show in particular, I feel like has been incredible. I was talking to Tom, and it is people are open, they're willing, they're talking, they're meeting each other. And I think at some of the other shows, there's been a little bit of hesitancy. But, you put Vegas into it, you put being on the downturn of COVID, you put people understanding social distancing and people making their choices with vaccinations. I feel like people are excited to be out there, man.
I agree, man. You get a few techies and a couple of restaurant guys, put them in Vegas after a pandemic. Things are happening,
Have
baby.
some fun.
I gotta tell you, when it comes to vaccination, Shatsy treats them like Long Island iced teas.
Oh, yeah.
He'll take a J&J. He'll take a Moderna. He'll take a Pfizer. Don't threaten him with a good time.
One
get a
booster.
vax.
No
You
one
get a
booster for me,
vax.
baby. I got one in each arm, baby.
Listen, I think if we got you here, then I got to ask one of the most important questions I probably asked today. I want to talk about your party last night. Okay. Ovation threw a party with VDC, with our friends at Virtual Dining Concepts, who, by the way, I mean, our boy Michael was talking about Robert Earl, favorite hotels, Mr. Beast. I got to tell you, the Robert Earl and VDC team's getting some good press.
By the way, 2,000 people, I think.
I forgot. That's right. Hold on. This podcast is sponsored by VDC
and Earl of Sandwich.
There we go. Okay. Seriously, though, you threw a great event. Tell us about the party last night. Where'd you have it? Even though we know, up in the VIP. Talk about it.
Oh, my
Presidential
gosh.
suite.
It was the presidential suite. It was actually super cool. I didn't know. I've never been to a hotel.
Like a Rain Man stuff?
It was like 2 balconies. There were 2 balconies, 2 different balconies that you can overlook the Bellagio fountain. And there were this particular room, I kid you not, had 3 bathrooms. I barely have 3 bathrooms in my house.
Jimmy would love that.
I would love that.
He would do a morning bathroom, a lunch bathroom, and a dinner bathroom.
It was
I was
awesome.
going to divide that up other ways, but I'll go with that. All right, we'll go with that.
It was just one of those things where I tell people it was an expensive room, but a cheap venue. It was a lot of fun. Good amount of people. It was and again, like just being out there in the Vegas air, it was just like it was so
awesome.
warm and feeling good, and coming up from the tundras of Utah, felt good to be.
I got to tell you, I agree. And let me tell you, we got a very special date here I'm going to bring up right now. The last time Zack Oates was on this podcast, Jimbo, was October 30th, 2020. That's an exact date, Jimmy. That's an exact date. I looked it up in my podcast archives that I keep with me at all times. Ovation, you guys have been moving a mile a minute. What is new at Ovation?
Dude, we have, since August of 2020, we've 5x'd our growth. We've just been like exploding. It's been tons of fun. And honestly, it's been really incredible to just build that value. For us, that's why I'm doing this. One of our Ovation values is to build value. And when I stop helping people do better is when I need to stop being an entrepreneur, right? And one of the cool things that we came out with.
Giving back. This guy is awesome. It's not about the money. It ain't about the business.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't mind getting rich along the way. But what I'm saying, though, is
make a diamond too.
But no, it really is. It really is about building value, because at the end of the day, if I'm not building enough value that people keep paying for that value, then I'm not doing a good job, right? So it's been awesome. When we look at like our retention rates, off the charts. When we look at growth rates, it's been phenomenal. And in terms of what we're doing at Ovation, not only
what's in the pipeline? Tell us what's in the pipeline.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, so not only do we have that 2-question survey, we just added on custom questions, so you can get causation-based survey. You can ask more detailed questions the next day. And it's really what a lot of people have been asking about. So you can find out things like birthdays, things like, dietary preferences. That way, when you're sending out messages through your marketing platforms, it's not just, it's not just random messages. And then the other thing we're doing is we're revamping, not sexy, but very important, the reporting systems. So that way, I want people to be able to not just see the data, but I want them to easily know exactly what to do and know what to do on a weekly basis, daily basis. And that's been really exciting. So I'm stoked for that. That's coming out Q1, and we got some cool things in the pipeline with that. And then all around, how do we make it easier for people to win customers back, right? Because someone has a 4-star experience. I don't want them to walk away and say, that was okay, right? I want to give restaurants the opportunity to wow them with service, to get them back. And we're just building out tools to take what we've got and 2x that.
I love it. I love it. Zack, you really are truly one of the very good guys.
Hey, Jimmy, that Ovation hat looks good on you.
I got to say, I feel pretty good with that.
It looked really good.
It looks good. It looks natural.
If our listeners could see you right now, I mean, they would just go crazy.
Yeah, but I got a face for radio, so
not with that hat.
I'll take it. Listen, we got some business to do here on the Hangout. It wouldn't be a podcast without a crystal ball moment. So we're going to ask you to predict the future. Being that we're food on demand today, when you come back here 2 years from now, What do you think is going to happen? What are going to be the hot topics? What will have changed or evolved over a 2-year period, do you think?
That's a great question.
I came up with it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you from my perspective, because obviously I get to work with restaurants on a very surface level, a lot of restaurants on a surface level. So I see a lot of aggregate data, but I go really, really deep into, feedback and technology. And I think one thing that I'll talk about that I definitely feel over the next few years is we're going to look at what technology do restaurants implement, and it's going to be whatever simplifies the guest experience, whatever makes it easier and more frictionless is going to win. And I think that a lot of these technologies right now are working on becoming frictionless, but right now they're cool concepts, they're cool ideas. They've got a lot of potential, but we got to reduce the clicks. We got to reduce the downloads. We got to make it effortless because we're not competing against other restaurants. We got to remember that. Our technology stack as restaurateurs, we're competing against Amazons. We're competing against Grubhubs. We're competing against Etsy's. Why? Because that's what consumers are used to with technology. And so that's where we have to get to. How do we reduce the clicks? And whatever is the easiest for the guest that provides the value is going to win. But we gotta keep that effort level onto a whisper.
Shatsy, I inspired by Zack, I got one. I got an acronym that it's gonna stick. Keep it simple. Shatsy.
I love it. I love the KISS theory.
KISS theory. Keep it simple. Shatsy. I think Zack just inspired us. We got that. Can we trademark that? Keep it simple.
I swear he's smarter than when he was on in October the last time. I'm telling you, he got smarter.
Yeah, it's because I get to talk to you guys every month.
Salmon. I'm smart. Hey, listen, let's go into the branded quickfire. We're doing the branded Quickfire Viva Las Vegas edition. I'm going to ask you 5 lightning round questions. Don't think too hard. First thing that comes to mind, are you ready for branded Quickfire Viva Las Vegas?
Let's do it.
What's your favorite thing about Las Vegas?
Not spending money. As a good old Utah boy here, it's pretty cheap.
Look at that. Yeah, it's cheap, all right. Favorite casino game?
I don't gamble. Okay, I'll tell you the one that
What would intrigue you if you did?
Okay, what's the red and black game with the numbers? Roulette.
That sounds like a guy who doesn't gamble. What's the one with the bull and the thing, Jimmy, with the red and the blue? And
I'll tell you why I like that one, because I could say black, everything.
Yeah, and then that's favorite airport snack?
Airhead ropes.
Favorite Vegas hotel?
Not the La Quinta.
Sounds like you've had an experience in La Quinta.
By the way, that's a CEO of a startup. Frugal.
Yeah, no. Frugal. I think the last time he was here, I think they had like 8 in the room.
Do you know what? Now that I've seen the presidential suite here at the Bellagio, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you may have to stay with that.
He can't go back. He can't. He won't.
All right. I know you don't know a lot about gambling, but let's talk craps. You know the game craps. It's with the dice. You're throwing out there. You know,
I've seen Steve from Bebop play that.
You've seen Steve.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we'll see him tonight play that. All right. Now let me ask you something. That game draws a big crowd. Everyone's always yelling and hollering, screaming, throwing the dice. If you were to choose either Jimmy or I to be your good luck charm and partner at the craps table, who are you picking?
I'm sorry, Shatsy.
I knew he's going to pick Jimmy.
I'm sorry. Hey, look, any guy that does a one-armed push-up in the middle of a bar, he's got my vote. Talk about drawing a crowd.
He also had a lot of McAllen, but okay, he's got your vote.
By the way, if I'm Zack, I'm picking me too, because Shatsy, you don't have the attention span. You'd be like, what's next? Oh, yeah, look at that. A shiny
things.
Shiny objects went by.
Oh, a light.
Also, and he's the one on my board, so you know.
Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, okay, I see what goes on there. Hey, listen, Zack, this was awesome. I know you got a busy day. You got customers at the Yin Yang over there in the booth. It's crowded. I've never seen so much activity. This FOD right now, Food on Demand, is incredible. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
Zack, we appreciate it. Can I keep the hat?
Yes.
I love it. Guys come on our podcast and I get gifts.
Awesome. Hey, I love you guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
Appreciate you, man. Okay. Thank you. That was good. Zach's got his A game. Zach.
I gotta say, but he did it a lot smarter than he used to be. Am I right?
I think we're getting dumber.
I think maybe you're right. I don't know how I'm going to top that, Jimmy. We got to get some more guests here. We got a little bit more time on this podcast. We are live from Las Vegas, the Bellagio, food on demand. Haven't been back since March of 2020. Jimmy, it feels great to be here. I got to go find somebody to top Zack Oates, and that is not going to be easy.
We're running away from
I am looking. I see someone in a blazer, and it looks like, Tom Kaiser. Tom, we're over here. Tom, can we give me 2 minutes in our podcast? He's just saying goodbye to somebody. He's coming in right now. Tom Kaiser, editor at Food on Demand, senior editor at Franchise Times. Jimmy, we're getting A-listers here. Tom, sit down, put the headphones on, and let's get to it. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Tom's never going to have his back. He's never going to have his back.
I was just looking for a bathroom.
Poor guy was looking for a bathroom, and I roped him into the podcast. All right, we're going to make it. I hope it was number one, Jimmy. All right, here we go. TMI. Listen, Tom, thanks for jumping in here. I know you're looking for the bathroom, and we roped you in. I appreciate it. It's great to be. What's it like to be back in Vegas?
Well, it's a little surreal, of course, but it's great. I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to feel walking into, a big packed expo hall and bustling hallways and all of that, a big, huge ballroom, but it's fantastic.
And you've been here all week, right?
Yes.
I mean, RFDC right into Food on Demand. I mean, RFDC, not to change subject too much. I know we're talking about Food on Demand, but that'd be 3,000 people there.
Yes.
I mean, it was unbelievable, right? I mean, just unbelievable. Listen, you've been a moderator on a lot of panels so far. I mean, Ghost Kitchen Trends, third-party deep dive. Can you share maybe one or two takeaways, take-homes for each of these panels for our listeners?
Well, we're 5 years since we started Food on Demand, and it kind of
is that breaking news?
No, I don't believe so.
I think that's counting.
I think that is just counting,
checking, Jimmy.
But it kind of cracks me up that 5 years in, a lot of people who I really respect in this industry and definitely respect in this industry are still saying up there on stage that we're in those early innings. And I believe them when they say it.
Well, let me ask you, how old's RFDC?
Oh, gosh. That question predates me.
I'm telling you right now, I know. It's 30 years.
Wow.
So, yes, you're in the early innings. you got like 25 more years in you, Tom.
I don't mean specifically for the conference, but specific to ghost kitchens, virtual restaurants. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot has happened in these two categories over the last couple of years, especially, obviously. But, we were talking about ghost kitchens and virtual restaurants before the pandemic, obviously.
Sure.
But we are still definitely in the early stages. And it really feels to me, I'm a people person. I like being at conferences. I like being around people. I love being around the industry. But
Jimmy's not a people person. Either am I.
Jesse, we got to break out of our shell.
Yeah, we got to break out of this shell a little bit.
We can't keep being wallflowers.
Yeah.
But it's very obvious that as we're coming out of this pandemic, hopefully, knock on wood, that this side of the industry is still exploding in terms of money coming in, consumer adoption, innovation in the space. It really still is early innings, as silly as that sounds after saying
exciting.
It for 5 years.
Listen, the restaurant and hospitality space is ripe for innovation and excitement like this, and we haven't seen it in years, and it's great. Walking around the expo hall, Jimmy and I have done it a couple times. It's really incredible. What companies out there have you seen? I know they're all your babies out there, but what have you seen? What companies out there are people buzzing about?
Well, based on the conversation I had just a few minutes earlier, walking in this direction, Bicky certainly is getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, Bicky.
I mean, we just got done with the panel Marketing and Loyalty in a New World, moderated by Fred LaFranc, who, in my opinion, is
best
the best
dressed guy in the show.
Not only that,
smart gentleman, best dressed,
and best moderator in the restaurant industry.
He knows a little something about this business.
Kind of a nice trifecta he's got going on right there. But that panel featured Abhinav Kapoor of Bicky, Hadi Rashid, co-founder of Lunchbox, Zach Goldstein, obviously we know who he is, and Jamie Marshall of Snack Pass. That panel was absolutely packed. Yes. And I was just yelled at by somebody in the hallway saying, why wasn't that an hour longer? And,
You got
That's
great
probably a
content.
good
That's
point.
what you guys do here at FOD, man. You're about content. You create great content for us.
You really do. No, I think that's a notable, it's a distinguishing kind of quality about your shows. Really, is the panels matter. You guys really pull together some experts and put them up there. It's commendable.
Thank you, guys. That's really kind of you to say.
What is new at Food on Demand and Franchise Times? I mean, things are moving blazing speed, but what's new at FOD and Franchise Times?
Well, we're growing as well.
Nice.
This is.
Are you doing a virtual brand?
Well, my
Franchise Times Burgers.
My fellow editor, Nicholas Upton, and I do have a virtual concept that we've been noodling on called the Slop Shop, because we like to make a lot of casseroles up in Minnesota, as you might know.
Love it.
And so,
Ralph Earl, if you're listening, we got a new one for you.
Robert Earl's getting airtime on.
Yeah,
He's getting
100%.
airtime
so
today.
yeah, what's the Minnesota celebrity we're going to rope into this concept, gentlemen?
And Trish is right outside, I think. So we'll talk to her about it.
What was the question?
What is new at Food on Demand and Franchise Times? You're growing.
Yeah, our team is growing. The editorial team of our operation is growing. We have new editors. I'm turning into the old guard, which is matching the white hair in my beard, which is a good thing,
Right?
Because we need more. We need more members of our team to do what we're doing and to continue expanding as the industry is doing. So it's a pretty great moment for me. So hopefully planning the next conference, which we will be back here in Las Vegas the first week of May in 2022 at the Mirage for next year's Food on Demand conference.
That's breaking news, Jimmy?
I think
The
that's
Mirage?
breaking
We're
news.
going Mirage?
It's still going to be just one a year, but we're getting it back to being a springtime event for our own team
At
sanity.
the Mirage, though, huh?
That's correct.
We were just talking about the Mirage today, Jimbo. That was our place.
That was our place back in the day.
Back in the day. I mean, that was the first one.
Well, it's lovely conference space. We've had big events there in the
Love
past.
it. Looking forward to it.
All right. By the way, I am in the camp of being in the early innings of what's about to happen, and if that's the case, I also agree that growth is in your future, because more and more people are looking at this space, and you guys with your content, thought leadership, and the events. Yes, I'm in that camp. I'd go long your stock. Is there one thing you want listeners to know about how they can work with you and your publications? What would that be?
Don't be shy about reaching out to us. I try to tell a lot of people in person, face to face, that every conversation I have does not need to involve a recorder or be on the record. I like to just talk with people. I learn from people, not having been traveling as much as I'm used to and as much as I'd prefer these last 18 months. I still want to be having conversations and meeting new people. And so I want people to feel like they can just reach out to our team, because we're all people. I think that sounds really slick when you say it like that. But
Try to do it 10 times fast.
But, I want people to feel like they can reach out to us and talk to us at any point, whether they're here or in another part of the globe, because, that's especially cool is when we have somebody reach out to us from outside of North America. I mean, I was just talking to somebody in the hallway who came here all the way from Moscow. I think that's the
Hey, man,
that's the record
hospitality
breaker.
knows no borders. Hospitality knows no anything. Everyone loves hospitality.
I got to agree. Listen, Tom, we want to make sure we get our crystal ball moment in with you. It's where we ask our guests to kind of predict where they see restaurants and technology in the future. We're talking 2 years out, which, given what's going on, that's a lifetime. Being we're at Food on Demand today, we want to know when we come back here 2 years from now, so not next year, the spring at the Mirage, but 2 years from now, what do you think are going to be the hot topics? What will have changed or evolved in your opinion?
Well, I think what will have changed from the consumer's perspective is that the QSR, the fast food restaurants that they are used to visiting in suburban environments, are going to look and operate differently. And I think it's at that moment that a lot of people who obviously aren't in our industry, don't follow our industry, are really going to realize just how much the restaurant industry has changed. When, I'm not going to name any brands, but, there are a lot of QSR brands that are not shy at our events and others in the industry about saying, we do not need a dining room anymore. And that might sound, that might have some people clutching their pearls, but for us in this industry, that is where things are headed. And so, I know that a lot of these in the last year or so, a lot of these big QSR brands have released templates showing what the future of their restaurants will look like. Well, these ships take a long time to turn, but I think 2 years from now, every day people who are not in our industry will have started to notice that something big is happening outside of delivery, which I think the average Joe is quite familiar with now.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think you're going to see a lot of pickup windows, a lot of drive-throughs, and a lot smaller footprint. To your point, you don't have to walk into a QSR. It's just going to be drive-through or pickup window, and that's it. I agree. We're headed right into the quick fire right now. Branded quick fire, Viva Las Vegas edition. I'm going to ask you 5 lightning round questions. Tom,
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am kind of ready.
What's your favorite thing about Las Vegas?
The food.
Second, food.
I agree.
There's a lot of good restaurants here. I tell you that. Last night
anything.
was crazy good. Favorite casino game?
Oh, roulette all day.
Oh, second one to pick that?
Yeah.
I'm wearing velvet. What do you think it is?
Favorite airport snack?
Ooh, not mandarin oranges. Don't eat mandarin oranges from an airport, guys.
It is not mandarin oranges.
Fair. That's
I don't
an
even think you'd find that at the airport. I mean, usually you find bananas and some apples, maybe, wrapped up in cellophane.
So attractive.
But those little chunks of orange floating in liquid, you don't want that. Trust me.
You don't want that. Favorite Vegas hotel?
Oh, Cosmo.
Boom. Boom. Love the Cosmo. All right, let's talk craps. That's the game Jimmy and I love. Always a big crowd around the craps table. If you were to choose either Jimmy or I to be your good luck charm and partner at the craps table, who are you picking?
Well, I'm going to pick you because I need somebody talking smack behind me.
Oh, look at that. All right. Thank you very much. I mean, didn't say it was a good luck charm. Just want to talk smack.
Well,
That's right.
I respect the answer.
I love it. Hey,
I
listen,
didn't
I
agree
know
with
you
the
got
answer.
The power of buzz, gentlemen.
I know you're very busy. You're running a show. I mean, there's got to be 1,000 people here. I mean, I was in the hall. It was packed. The expo hall was packed. It looks great. The content is great. You do an amazing job. Thank you for everything you do for the industry. And thanks for stopping by. Now get over to the bathroom, okay? Get over to the bathroom
Thank
right
you. We
now.
appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
Yeah,
for having me
awesome.
here, guys. Thanks.
Yep. Thanks, man.
Chachi, that was good. Tom was dropping knowledge, man.
Wow.
We're on a good run.
I mean, we're very lucky, I got to tell you. The poor guy was going to the bathroom, and I rope him in here, and the poor guy had to go.
Oh,
But he was very generous with his time.
Very generous.
I
Very
hope he
generous
made it
man.
in time.
He's a very tall and impressive man.
All right, I got to go, Jimmy. I'm going to go over back into the hall, and I'm going to see if I can rope someone else in.
Bring us a good one. Bring us a good one.
I'm going to go try. I'm looking. Hey, Trish. I see Trish. Trish Giordano, Chief Sales and Marketing Officer of Earl Enterprises. Jimmy, can I get that? Can I get Trish in here?
You ain't fast enough. You ain't big enough.
Trish, you got to come. Trish, don't run the other way. Trish, come. All right, Trish, we got a podcast. Come on inside. Put that headset on. Sit down. Get comfortable. We got to ask you some questions about food on demand in Las Vegas. You are the Chief Sales and Marketing Officer at Earl Enterprises. It's VDC. You got restaurants. You got everything. You got the Mr. Beast. You got things going on. Trish Giordano, we are lucky to have you here. Jimmy, this is great.
Trish, we're thrilled to have you, and I guess we're going to be X'd off Trish's Christmas card list now. This is
100%.
Yeah,
I think she was in the middle of signing a deal, by the way. I swear she was in the middle of signing a deal.
She was making big deals, big announcements, and now she's sitting with us. Thank you for
Great
joining
way
us.
to end my day.
Yeah,
exactly.
Thank you. Listen, we want to jump in and chat. You can feel free to play any way you like, but as an operator, what have you learned so far from the show?
So much. So the big thing is relationships. Great individuals in this industry. But probably the most important thing I think right now that's going on is all of the new technology companies that have come to market. And with the industry having so many issues with staffing and supply chain, we as an organization have to figure out, how do you create efficiencies for your restaurants? How do you create efficiencies for your customers? So I believe it's just all of the new companies and great products that we're seeing. That is like the most exciting part of, what I'm seeing so far, in the last couple of days.
It's a solid answer. I got to tell you, also very sweet, the whole relationship thing. No
Yeah.
one else is talking about that. They're all talking about
exactly. Where am I going tonight?
Where am I going? Who's buying? Who's treating?
It's nice to see people. Relationships.
Trish, who are what have maybe have been most excited to see, or what's everyone talking about?
Virtual kitchens.
Boom.
Oh,
Boom.
Yes, virtual
Spot on.
kitchens, ghost kitchens, whatever you want to call them, virtual brands. Something
is
that's
the
very
buzz.
near and dear to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And you guys were way out in front of that. Listen,
Yep.
for any operators who couldn't make it out here at the show, are there any tech companies you've come across you think they should know about?
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a loaded question.
A little bit.
That's a loaded
They
question.
all can't be softballs.
No. So,
If you don't want to name names, how about a particular vertical or a space
That's
or a
fair.
subject?
So
matter?
loyalty, that's a big one, right? For
Yes.
us and for me in particular, because all of my contracts are coming due. So I'm really taking a look at new loyalty companies.
All you loyalty companies out there,
Yep.
you better bring your A game. Don't bring no weak ass blah 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 here.
Exactly. So, but I think it's, the entire delivery space, that last mile, that's critical.
Yep.
Some of the new companies that you're seeing, in play, the Cartwheels of the world, companies that can help us,
We
have
weren't
that-
naming names.
Oh, I'm not naming names. I'm sorry.
You can name names. You can name names.
But no, I think that's the exciting piece. It's really trying to solve the problems that we don't have time. And there are so many great companies that have invested the resources into understanding what our real problems are and where the industry is going.
I know this is going to be a crazy question, but what's new at Earl Enterprises?
They got nothing going on.
Nothing.
They never have anything going on.
So working for Robert 32 years now. I've watched his company grow from the bottom to the top, back down to the bottom. In the last 2 years, I would say, he's just out of his mind, in a good way.
In a good way.
If you're listening, Robert, in a very good way. So, he's been purchasing up distressed companies. So in the middle of COVID, everybody's trying to figure out how to keep it together. He calls me one morning and says, by the way, I just bought 2 chains, Brio and Bravo. I said, okay, great. Right in the middle of COVID. Then 6 months later, oh, by the way, we just purchased a deli chain in Florida called 2J's, another great concept. So in the middle of all of this, and by the way, also creating virtual dining concepts, he's buying distressed restaurants. So a little bit busy on the Earl front, but I think Robert has a vision of where we're headed and looking for opportunities. And he, as he calls himself, a deal junkie.
Can I just say, Robert's pulling off Warren Buffett stuff there. When others are greedy, be fearful. But when others are fearful, Robert Earl,
Yep.
Yeah,
get greedy, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, look, there's a lot more than just restaurants. There's Planet Hollywood, and one of the stars of the Strip, Jimmy. We were there yesterday.
Yeah,
that place was jumping.
That was jumping. That was
Food
fun.
was amazing.
Music was awesome.
Cafe Hollywood was awesome.
Yep.
The staff was incredible. Couldn't have been nicer. I mean, really got to go. What role did you play in building and marketing a hotel and a casino?
Yeah, so early on, Robert actually purchased it. It was the Aladdin Hotel, and I'll never forget the day that he wanted to purchase it. And we had to put together an entire presentation internally. We didn't use an agency. I can remember at 2 o'clock in the morning, sitting at the printer trying to put together a pitch deck that he had to pitch the following week. So early on, there was 2 or 3 of us that were involved putting together an entire presentation for Robert to win it.
Buy a multi-million dollar casino.
And think about it. We just came out of bankruptcy. So he's going in to buy a hotel out of bankruptcy when he just came out of bankruptcy. So
that is crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. And guess what?
In a good way.
He won.
In a good way.
But he won. He won the bid and became Planet Hollywood. So early on, the Orlando team was heavily involved. But once he purchased the team, then really he turned it over to an Vegas team. People that live on the Strip, they get it. Exactly.
You got to.
I don't want to be controversial, but I got to say, I really do miss the Aladdin. Said no one ever.
So, Planet Hollywood, Earl Enterprises. Let's talk a little bit about ghost kitchens. Because you guys seem to know a little something about ghost kitchen. I'm seeing people with virtual dining concepts badges all over the place. I don't know how many people from VDC are here, but it's got to be at least 400 to 500 people from VDC are here. I probably know the answer.
I think you might have counted that one wrong, but that's all right. By the way, the team that's here from VDC, it feels like
they're everywhere, Jimmy. They're everywhere.
But you've got Kelly Grogan running the entire team.
It's
That's
great.
it.
The team is amazing.
Team Kelly.
Yeah.
I think I know the answer. What are your thoughts on the space?
It's obviously we're just starting. So when we first, the history of it is we started to look at it 2.5 years ago. We were actually in business at Cloud Kitchens with Travis when he first opened up on Washington Street. Robert put.
Is that breaking news?
I think that news. I think that's
old.
I think that's old.
Is it old news? Yeah,
I think
that's old news. No, so
that's historical.
I'm always looking for something breaking.
Right. So we started there, but as Robert was putting this in, it's like we have restaurants all over California. Use your own restaurants. We have capacity. We can do this. Started to create brands, tested it, and then we went out and did a couple deals. Actually, at Food on Demand, met with Grubhub, met with DoorDash, went ahead and presented the idea to them. They loved it. Follow-up meetings 2 months later, they're selling all brands for us. And I said, Robert, take the celebrity part of what we did at Hard Rock and Planet Hollywood, bring that in, and let's see what we can create. And from there, leave it to Robert. He's a genius when it comes to that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, do we bring up Mr. Beast? Can we bring up Mr. Beast?
You can bring up Mr. Beast.
Can you tell us a little bit about, we had the pleasure of hanging out with you in New York, having a couple of drinks, and we got into the Mr. Beast. Can you just give our listeners a little bit about that? Because it was a really funny stuff going on with that.
December 16th last year is when we launched. So whoever launches a brand in the middle of Christmas week first, and you just do not do it.
Robert Earl and the team.
Exactly. So I want to give Robbie Earl credit for this one because Robbie is the one who brought the influencer, Mr. Beast, to the table. I'll never forget.
I had the pleasure of meeting him yesterday.
Did
what
you
a
meet
delight.
Rob? He's a great young man.
Guy.
So I was
BU guy too, by the way.
That's
BU?
true. Yeah, he
Terry.
is a BU guy. Yeah. But we were literally, Robert and I were in Beverly Hills. You know, he was out there doing business. He says, we got this new concept coming up, Mr. Beast, and we're going to have a burger concept. I'm like, who the heck is Mr. Beast? And he's like, it's going to be the biggest thing in the world. I'm like, okay, let's see. Well, it was the biggest thing in the world. We launched it. We crashed the App Store on Apple for 5 days?
Yeah. And weren't you on the Olo platform?
Olo platform. Olo did a phenomenal job putting it together. We gave them 4 or 5 weeks for them to get it up and running. We had to create.
But you were so busy, they still couldn't handle it.
They couldn't handle it.
Nothing bad to Olo.
I'm going to tell no about this. Tell him no.
But it was crazy.
It was crazy. It was the night it happened. It was a Saturday. You don't launch on a weekend either, right? And so we launched this, and literally everything went down. It crashed the App Store. It crashed everything. My living room table, my kitchen, anybody I could recruit was on the phones. Virtual dining concepts, may I help you? Because the phones were ringing off the hook. I said, if I hear that one more time, I had to put together a makeshift team out here in Vegas because we had to figure out how to very quickly help customers. Within 1 week, once again, recruited everybody we knew to put a sales center at the Planet Hollywood Resort. We used one of the rooms there.
Right.
And this thing just went nuts.
Can you give us an idea, just like how much business did you do that first day? How many burgers? How many customers? Can you give us an idea?
6.
Yeah, 6 times. I can tell you it was, it exceeded to-go orders for most of the restaurants we were dealing with, put it that way. And it was crashing those restaurants as well.
Yeah,
so it was, but look, we learned a lot. It hit us all right in the face. Everybody had to work with. Luckily, we have a team of people that everybody rolled in their sleeves. They just jumped in. You know, we were open even on Christmas Day. And I was like, this is not good, but we had to stay open. And it was phenomenal. And so from there, we've learned a lot. And now we are trying to build the next set of brands and learning from our mistakes and hopefully not have a Mr. B situation in a good situation, not, everything crashing.
I think you're ready for it now.
Yeah, I think we are.
Now, I love that you talk about how you were you had the kitchen capacity. Shatz and I talk about this a lot. We believe the space, ghost kitchen, dark kitchen, virtual restaurant, whatever naming convention you want to use. We believe this is the earliest of the innings, and you guys were ahead of the curve. And we really believe you cannot separate the expertise that comes from owning and operating the stores, having the team in place, having the systems in place, having the brick and mortar, having the kitchens. And you guys have that. So Shatz and I, we're betting on the folks that actually have been in this business with scale, because that is how this is going to work out. And fully expect you guys can be our leaders of space and will continue to be a leader.
They know a little something about hospitality and food, Jimmy.
A little bit.
Yeah, we're not a tech company. I would say that's the big difference. You look at our competitors, and some great competitors out there, but we are a restaurant company.
I think that's what it is. At the end of the day, you're selling food.
Yep.
And it's got to be good.
And it's got to be good. All right, listen, we can't do a podcast without doing some of our favorite segment sections. I get the second segment because everyone always tells Shatz he gets the best segment, and I never get the quick fire, but that's okay. I'm all right. I get other things. All right. So we want to talk about the crystal ball moment where we're going to ask you talk about restaurants and technology just 2 years from now, but in the speed of which this is growing. 2 years is a long time. Being there at Food on Demand, We want to know when we come back here to FOD 2 years from now, what do you think is going to be the hot topics and what will have changed or evolved?
I think the delivery mechanisms, right? The new verticals. You hear a little bit about drones today. You keep hearing AI. Does that really come into play? What does it look like? And who are the players going to be? I think consolidation. I think you're going to have mass consolidation in this area. I think you'll have continued consolidation with restaurants, and you're going to have fewer companies owning more space. And then you're going to have a consolidation on the virtual side. Everybody's dabbling in it right now. That is going to consolidate as well.
That's why I kept my FINRA and SEC licenses. I'm going to put my banker hat back on because there's going to be so much activity.
Oh,
it's
my
going to be awesome.
goodness. It's going crazy. Let's jump. Shall we jump right into the quickfire?
I couldn't stop you if I
Branded quickfire, the Viva Las Vegas edition. We are here live from Las Vegas, food on demand. We are here with you, Trish. We're going to ask you 5 lightning round questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What is your favorite thing about Las Vegas?
People watching.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, I got to tell you, there was some good people watching. There's some interesting outfits. I got to be honest with you.
We tell you something. At a certain hour of the night over the Cosmopolitan, there ain't so good people watching.
It's interesting.
Sorry,
for sure.
I shouldn't name names. I mean, it's some hotel. Who knows?
Favorite casino game?
Roulette.
Oh,
I love playing numbers.
Love it. That's the 3rd roulette. Favorite airport snack?
Oh, probably a Kind bar.
Boring. I always like a Kind bar.
It's very satisfying.
Delicious.
Very
It's
satisfying.
Favorite Vegas hotel?
Oh, you're really asking that. Planet Hollywood.
I wanted to see. I thought you were going to like say Cosmo or something, try and lure that. No, right to Planet Hollywood. Let's talk craps, okay? I love craps. Jimmy loves craps. Fun game. Usually that is where everyone's cheering and going crazy in the casino. If you were to choose Jimmy or I to be your good luck charm and partner at the craps table, who are you picking?
Oh, no, you're not really doing this to me.
Oh, don't worry. We have thick skin.
Yeah, you could just say, go ahead.
I mean, you'd be crazy to choose the one that has no attention deficit. I said, it'd be crazy to choose the one that has the attention deficit order, and that would be the one that's
who's my numbers guy? Jimmy.
Jimmy's definitely a numbers guy. They don't call him the finance guy for nothing.
I'm going with the numbers guy.
Going with the finance guy. All right.
But if I have a crowd, can I switch halfway through?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, there you go.
Anything you want. We'll both be in your corner.
Be there supporting and blowing on the dice for you.
Yes, Trish, thank you so much for joining us for the podcast. We know you have a jamming schedule.
I apologize for taking you away from you were closing a big deal. I saw a big deal being closed.
Listen, you guys are doing some amazing things. Thank you for the hosting us last night. That was a ton of fun. And we appreciate what you do for the industry, not just in these days, but always. And thank you so, so much. To our listeners, listen, we're wrapping it up. We've taken up too much space here at Food on Demand. I think we've worn out our welcome on the floor, but we want to thank our listeners.
Jimmy, they're flagging us. They're telling us to get the hell out of here right now. They said this isn't even our room. They said this isn't even our room, that somebody else rented this room. We shouldn't even be in here.
Listen, we want to thank you for tuning in with us. We know there are literally thousands of podcasts out there, and we appreciate that you tune in with us, and most importantly, be part of this very special episode. If you want to get in touch with Tom, with Trish, with Zach, with Michael directly, we ain't giving you their digits.
No cell phone.
This is season 5. That was a mistake in season 1. You ain't getting personal information. But you can email us at podcast@brandedstrategic.com. Podcast@brandedstrategic.com. And we really would be happy to connect you with them and make an introduction. So listen, we're going to wrap it up here.
It is great to be here at Las Vegas, Food on Demand. We're having a good time. Jimmy, it's our last night. It's been a week.
You got any gas in the tank?
I got to go get a double espresso, I think.
I'm doing big time Red Bulls.
We got to do something. This is great.
This segment was sponsored by Red Bull. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Cheers.
Thanks, everybody.